a sport, a family sport for any age or gender that can ride. As long as you can get on a horse, you can team pen.
My wife and I are penners. We've been penners for years, and it's a great sport for, kids from, 5 years old right up to people that are 75, 80 years old still riding. So anybody can do it.
Flags up. 3 riders go into a herd of 30 cattle that have numbers on them. You pull 3 numbers out and you put them in the pen at the other end of the arena, and it's all on time. There's a lot of luck involved. You've got to draw the right cattle, you got to handle them right when you do draw them, and it's a team sport. It takes 3 people to make a good run, and it takes 3 people to mess it up. Team penning, it takes a broke horse. Normally a cowie horse is good. Quarter horses are the general pick of most of the riders. Some have Appaloosas, there's all sorts. Any horse can do it.
You need a horse that's gonna do what you ask, mainly. And naturally you need a saddle and a bridle, and you should have splint boots on them, because quite often you're riding tight to another horse, or even the cattle, they could hurt their shins or their feet. Well, this is the bridle, and most people, this isn't my horse, but I'm thinking that it's a snaffle bit in there. I borrowed this horse because mine was undone. This is the breast collar that just good idea to have so the saddle doesn't slide back. A lot of horses have terrific acceleration, so. And proper padding. They don't need a lot of padding, but they need good padding. Well, I've got spurs on. At certain times, people tend to use them more than they should. I try not to. You can overuse spurs too and do more harm than good, but they are sometimes a good thing to perk your horse up if he's getting a little doggy. And these chinks that I wear, you don't have to wear them. I like wearing them. And that's basically, other than a hat and a long sleeve shirt and some jeans. That's all. Yeah, you're good to go.
Some horses enjoy it immensely. And in fact, they get on the line and they get pumped and they're just anxious to go. If they misbehave, it's usually because they anticipate a cow moving and they try to read the cow ahead of the rider and get locked onto the wrong cow. Or there's more horses with people problem than people with horse problems.
We are cattle suppliers of team pennings all over the province, actually. We supply cattle for the finals, the provincial finals, and different jackpots around. So yeah, we own cattle and rent them out to different contractors, and heifers tend to be a little more challenging than steers, than males. And so we try and get the cattle so that they're the proper sizes. They're all similar in size, so you don't have some shorter or taller that are harder to see for the riders. Yeah, and the other thing is, we try to, now you can't always do that, but provide cattle of the same color, because there's marker cattle in there that, say there's 1 black or 2 blacks in a group of 30, that it makes it easier for certain penners if they get drawn that number to pick them out quicker. So we try to keep colors similar, but that's not always easy to do. We've been renting cattle out for probably 10 years, and I can honestly say we've never had one hurt or die because of team penning. It's not a sport where they really get hurt or overused. And of course, there's rules in place that protect the cattle. There's a judge that has rules that make the riders look after the welfare of the cattle.
The main rule is roughing. There's a roughing rule in to protect the cattle and the rider and the horses. You cannot run over a cow, clip them, bump them, bang them, knock them down, chase them so that they jump on another cow.
Sometimes you can't avoid, when you're in the heat of the action, you can't avoid, maybe bumping into one or whatever, but A little bump doesn't hurt them. It's the clipping, you know, the stepping on their feet, which could hurt them. Or physically running into it, you know, they're disqualified right away. Unless the animal just up and stops in front of them, you know, and it's not the rider's fault, they can't avoid it.
Some of them were quite good and some were awful. I don't know, they started out that they all wanted to go down to the far end, and then later on when they found out that this was the end, that they wanted to get out of the arena and go back to their resting pen, they got to where it was hard to keep them down by the pen while you got another one out. They kept coming back. It's challenging at times.
There's no such thing as bad cattle. When you're on fresh cattle, you change your game plan. Like, they move away from the horses faster and better, but you need to be able to hit them right so that you're in the right position to drive them up the pen, not back into the herd. There's quite a few little rules, but the biggest one is don't let trash come across. And trash is a bad cow. It's the cow that you don't want. And Murphy's Law, every time you get a trash up at the pen end, he will go in the pen before the good ones.
I can tell you about lots of times when I should have done things different. You know, it's easy after a run to say we should have done this or we should have done that, or, you know, at some of the pennies there's some decent prize money, and I guess we're all in it to have fun and because we're competitive.
The sanctioned events, we follow the Canadian Team Penning Association, their guidelines and their rules. That's what we follow. You need to go to 3 sanctions to get to our finals in Saskatchewan, and you need to go to 6 sanctions to get to the national finals. The sanctions guarantee all the beginners and the youth a place to ride. Like, they got the youth class and the 5 class and the 7 class. So it's geared towards the starting people and the younger people.
I'm really good at petting cows sometimes. Today I won first in the youth and second in the 5 class. There were lots of adults and some kids. The best thing about penning is we get to pen the cows in the pen and we have fun.
Actually, 3 years ago at our provincial finals in Prince Albert, there was quite a wreck, and I was in it. I was trying to turn back a cow, and its hip hit the shoulder of my horse, and made her cross her back leg with her front leg and rip her shoe off, and made her do a complete somersault. I didn't know about it because I didn't wake up till the next day in the hospital. But the best part was when I did come to and they reset my shoulder and everything, I had won the saddle for the high point. So guys, penner friends jumped in and finished my runs for me and helped me win the saddle. As soon as I could, I was back on a horse. I have a store that I work at that's open 7 days a week, and I work 5 of those days to make sure that on the weekends I can go penning. And as long as I can ride, that's what I'll do. It's the friendships that you make. Like, when I started this in 2000, half of these people I didn't know. And now they're best friends. Like, I love them all, and it's so much fun to come out and ride with the kids and ride with people, and if somebody messes up, you can laugh at them or tease them or make fun of them. If they happen to fall off, everybody laughs when somebody falls off, once he gets up. But most of the time, everybody looks after everybody.
I help my grandpa lots with the cattle and stuff, Sometimes I ride with him, usually.
I think it's a great sport. Like you've got to like riding and you've got to be able to ride a little bit. There's a lot of people that don't ride that well and still pen. You go at your own speed. It's a family sport, but the horses get wise enough that they start making moves sometimes on their own to stop a calf. And if you're not sitting there properly, you could be picking yourself out of the dirt. But there's some pretty awesome horses.
It's a great family sport for everyone to enjoy, and camaraderie. We're just like a big family traveling down the road. It's great to head out every weekend and see all your friends, and it's a good family sport.
To become a penner, get involved in any part of it, go on the website and put in Saskatchewan Team Penning Association. The site will have all the directors and all the members and all their phone numbers. Phone somebody. And everybody has some knowledge of where to start, what to do, who to ride with. Just go on the website.
Come and team pen today.